Hey everyone, welcome to week number 19 of FAQ Friday. So today I'm going to chat about something called the CHAP Tax Credit. And if you live in the city, you might have heard of it. If you're considering purchasing a home in the city, this is something that you should definitely consider because it can provide a ton of tax savings to you each year for your property taxes. So I'm going to jump right into my question number one, which is what is the CHAP Tax Credit? So CHAP stands for the Commission for Historical or Architectural Preservation. It's a total mouthful, but essentially what it means is that a builder is going to come in, renovate a property. Many of the renovated properties in the city choose to take advantage of this, and they're going to preserve certain historical elements of the home, meet, other standards such as, putting enough money into the home to receive the CHAP tax credit. And then, once they preserve those elements, then they will receive a 10-year tax credit that is transferable to, any buyer. So historical elements such as, original banisters. The most common one is the original wooden windows in the front. You have, original staircases, arches, floors, stuff like that. So before they renovate the property, they're going to take pictures of, what the property looks like, and the city will actually say, you need to preserve these 3 elements, and then, obviously put in the correct amount of money into the home, and then you receive the tax credit. So obviously, hearing original things can sometimes sound a little bit sketchy to buyers because they want something shiny and new. However, obviously they're going to preserve these items so that they appear as though they are new. So that is what the CHAP tax credit is. But the big question that I receive from a lot of clients is how is it calculated? Because there is a myth that it just freezes your taxes for 10 years, and that is totally incorrect. So I have a little example here. And so when the city, before the builder renovates the home, they're going to come out and give the builder a pre-assessment value. And then once the builder finishes the renovation, they're going to come back out, make sure that they met the certain standards, and then say, this is your post-renovation value or post-assessment value. So keep in mind, these numbers have nothing to do with what the property is actually worth. They're just estimates in order to calculate the tax credit. So then how you get the tax credit is you take the delta of these two numbers. So the delta between these two is $250,000, and then you multiply it by the tax rate. So for this particular example, the annual tax savings are $56.20, which is a ton of money to save annually on your taxes. So say your tax bill would have been $8,000 minus $56.20, that is insane savings. And for a lot of buyers, it allows them to purchase a home. It allows them to increase their purchasing power and purchase a more expensive home than they would have been able to just because of that tax credit and how that impacts their monthly payment. So just to put in perspective, so if you have annual savings of $56.20, so $5,620, if you were to own the home for 10 years, that savings would be $56,200. That was a really horrible way of saying that, $56,200. So that is a huge, tremendous amount of savings. And just keep in mind, if you were to look online and you see a home says, 7 years left or 5 years left, that is transferable to you. But something that you should pay attention to is that the tax credit is not going to show up on the listing. It's actually going to show up as the full tax bill. And you have to go online to Baltimore City Taxes to see what that credit is so you can see what the actual tax amount you would pay would be. So my last question number 3 is what else should I know about the tax credit? So there's a lot of things that you should know about the tax credit. Most important one is that if you're purchasing a home and the tax credit has not been approved yet, so say the home is being renovated right now or on the listing it says tax credit pending approval, take note of that, because if the builder for some reason does not get approval, then that financially makes a huge difference for you. So make sure that you offer on a home contingent upon the CHAP tax credit approval. So that is just for any home that has not received it. If it has received it, you can ask them for their CHAP tax credit letter. Other things to know, that it does add value to the overall price of the home. So a lot of builders, a lot of real estate agents in the area, we have access to CHAP tax credit homes that are coming up. So definitely chat with your realtor to get an idea as to, what homes are available in my area that have the CHAP tax credit and which ones are coming up. So I know, for example, our team has a ton of CHAP tax credit properties that are coming up. This CHAP tax credit pairing with a local realtor that, has the network of builders, of other agents that they work with that have access to these CHAP tax credit homes is super valuable to you as a buyer. And then the last thing, I think I already mentioned this, is that they are transferable. So say in a few years you decide you want to sell the property, the next purchaser will be able to take advantage of that CHAP tax credit as well. So that is all for today. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about the CHAP tax credit in general or just real estate in general, just feel free to reach out, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. See ya.